Afternoon. I'm making this video for the English 162 W1, W2, and W3 classes, and I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview as far as what we have left, to do. So today is the 14th of July, and so by midnight tonight, you need to submit your summary assignment and then also letter one, explaining to a student who has never taken an online course how to use Blackboard and how to be efficient as an online student. So um, it's tricky, because even I know in teaching these online courses, it's totally different from in class. So like when I have these classes in class, I have like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, say 12 to 12:50, and then I have a Tuesday, Thursday from 9:30 to 10:45. So you have time to spend, 15 or 20 minutes each class going over the content and assignments and answering questions and so on. And then, you give time to do some in-class writing. But it's a totally different animal in terms of how the class operates. But as I said, I think with online courses, it teaches you closer reading skills. It teaches you more effective email skills, writing skills, and even as far as phrasing questions through email. I like the discussion board. I use it even more with these online classes, but I think that is really, really helpful. So anyhow, but for tonight, as I said, the summary assignment is due, and then you also have to do that, like I said, that letter one on explaining to somebody how to navigate through an online course. For this Friday, you have to submit a resume and a portfolio. The portfolio, as I've mentioned to you before, you can go through College Central forward slash collegecentral.com / WCCC. The information is actually in assignments, and you can take a look at it there. If you have any problems, though, there is a handout right at the very top there of the resume, and it's on instructions for using College Central. And it also has the email address and the phone numbers of Sherry Knoll and John Amariak, who work for Career Services. So if you're having any problems in getting into the resumes, and the College Central and so on, you can ask them, and they will be able to help you. So anyhow, so that's due for this coming Friday, which is the 14th, not the 14th, the 18th, excuse me. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention to you then is for next Monday, the 21st, you have to do letter two. Let me explain to you what letter two is about. In letter two, you have two different options. The first option is you can write about a problem intersection or a dangerous road near your home, where you are in college, in a place that you travel to and from work, or a place that you are pretty well aware of, so you could do that. Now, the other option that you have is you can write a memo proposal, memo report on why WCCC needs an instructional technologist. So you can do one or the other. So you have two potential options with that. And then I also wanted to let you know that for Friday, the 25th of July, your written instructions are due. So there's plenty of examples in assignments, but those will be due by the 25th. With those, if you don't necessarily get them done on the 25th, you can actually have a few extra days. I have no opposition, even if it takes you until, the 28th. And the reason for that is from the 20th of July to the 25th, I am going to be in Gettysburg for training. I will have my laptop with me and we'll be able to answer email. But on the 25th is the day that I will be returning, so it won't be a really productive day for me. So if you needed more time to turn in the written instructions, that's fine. And then there's one discussion board posting that's due for Friday, the 25th of July. And then the very last week, as we get into the course, you have to do the consumer report by Friday, August 1st. And, by midnight, and then, but of course, if you would submit it by this coming Friday, the 18th, you would get an additional 20 points. If you submit it by midnight on the 25th, you gain an additional 10 points. So the only last thing that week is the discussion board posting on the consumer report and the consumer report itself. In the consumer report, if you can actually post visuals of the products you are looking at, that helps. At the very end of it, it really does help if you have a chart or a table to kind of numerically rate them to show which ones were better and so on. So that very much helps. So that's basically, what we have left to do. I also wanted to mention, when you submit your written instructions, you're going to have at the very beginning like an overview, and so you can list the main steps and stress the most critical step of all there at the beginning, and then you'd also want to do that again in final reminders, and then at the very beginning as well. Under estimated time, make sure to write it as such that a person is doing it for the first time, not somebody that has experience. And for cost, if you want to, in a Word document, you can actually put Excel in it, a spreadsheet, and you can add up the cost. So that's a nice way to do it. Somebody last year went to Walmart and bought all the ingredients for lasagna, and then he just put them into a spreadsheet and added them up, and so that's helpful. It also helps to, when you do the written instructions, to actually include a visual of the utensils or the items that you're going to need to show what you'll need. And then the other, whatever ingredients or whatever items you need, it also helps to show that. When you go through, you're going to need at least 5 visuals. More would be helpful. Typically, these are 10 or 12 steps. It can be longer than that. Typically, they're not shorter than that. So as you go through, you can just number them. But if you want to, you can break them into task headings as far as like gathering all the ingredients can be one, and then you might have 3 or 4 steps. Mixing the ingredients, and you might have 3 or 4 steps. Now make sure as you go through, try to start off more of your sentences with commands like adjust, position, apply, maneuver, and so on. And then if you use notes or tips, you typically will skip a line or two of space and put them in bold or italics, but you separate them a little bit from the text. And if you want to create in-text emphasis, remember you can use bold, italics, underline, yellow highlighting. You can use different colored font. You can use a larger font. Even if you wanted, if it's a safety issue, you can use red font, but you can do that. So remember, you're writing for someone who is a novice typically, and so more information and more visuals are helpful. If you have a number of terms that are new terms or technical terms, you can even add an addendum or an appendix at the end of your, your document. So basically, you're just going down through and explaining what to do. And again, if you have tips or notes or suggestions, you can add those, or if a person runs into problems, what to do to address those problems along the way. And then, like I said, at the very end, you have final reminders where you recap the main steps, state the most critical step of all, and if you have any last final reminders or suggestions, or to basically encourage the person to say, when you do this the first time, it might not turn out perfectly, but as you do it more times, you get better at it. So that's about it. I just wanted to give you a quick overview today. Thank you.